Peace. How y'all doing? Want to talk real quickly about Bill Gates and his position on controlling global population. And the hypocrisy behind it. If you look at Bill Gates' TED Talks and other videos in which he talks about this explosion or exponential growth pattern of the human population globally, he acts as if he's truly concerned, extremely worried, and that it can be potentially destructive and catastrophic to humanity because of the fact that there's going to be overpopulation with limited resources for the inhabitants, right? So there's limited land, there's limited water, limited vegetation and produce, and the fact that we are procreating at a rapid rate, there will not be enough natural resources to sustain this exponential growth of humans, right? Now, the way he presents it and postures his argument up front, some people may say, yeah, he kind of makes sense. That's something we should be concerned about. Now, here's where you checkmate his hypocrisy. You cannot argue that you're concerned about the availability and access of resources to all inhabitants on a planet Earth because we're overpopulating and there's not enough. There's not enough. There's inadequate. There is not an abundance of natural resources for human consumption and sustainability. Checkmate is this. When you go to Google and you start Googling how many acres of land Bill Gates owns and purchased, you come to start finding out that in Phoenix, he's purchased, 20,000 acres of land? And in Washington State, he's purchased a little over 14,000 acres of land? How can you talk about there's limited resources for people because of overpopulation? No, there's limited resources and limited natural resources because it is greedy people like him that feel because they have the money, they can privatize the earth and purchase vast expanse swaths of land. That land now belongs to him. Anybody trying to get on that land or access to that land, they have to answer to him. Or that's trespassing. You're violating private owned land. See, that's the problem right there. And this is why it should be illegal for people to own thousands of acres like that. Because you can't make that argument that you're concerned about people not having enough resources and that there's limited resources when you're the reason why there's limited resources. According to one of the articles I read, they said that I believe it was a 20,000 acre land that he purchased. That's enough to house 80,000 homes and some retail space. 80,000 homes. Do you understand what I'm saying? These are the games that we're dealing with. You get up on stage and you try to make this innocent, and beneficent, and humane TED Talks, and you talk like you're smart and educated and you have this concern for humanity and the globe when you're the reason there are limited resources. Don't talk to us about overpopulation and limited resources when you're buying up tens of thousands of acres of land for yourself. I don't care what you do with it. You shouldn't be able to own it like that. That's the contradiction. That's the hypocrisy. And so whenever he gets up here and whenever he starts talking about overpopulation and lack of availability of resources for all humans, somebody needs to be in the audience and say you're a hypocrite because you contribute to this. And this is just domestically. There's no telling what he owns abroad. This is just what he owns in the United States. You know, you have many of these people, these wealthy billionaires, they own private islands and things of that nature. So this is something that we need to be concerned about, and it needs to be addressed. Whenever they start talking this overpopulation, no, it's overconsumption. That's the problem. It's not overpopulation, it's overconsumption. And we need to vaccinate him for his overconsumption.